disappear. Black hole sun, won't you come and wash away the rain? Black hole sun, won't you come, won't you come? Black hole sun, won't you come and wash away the rain? Black hole sun, won't you come, won't you come?
Well, that was a fun bit of chaos and noise. I like that solo. I also got to use and abuse my new Dunlop Crybaby wah pedal for the first time, so that was a bit of fun as well. It's such an unusual solo, and there is a good reason for that, which I will tell you about in a minute. But for now, just want to mention there's a bit of a format change. I'm going to start putting these talky bits at the end instead of at the beginning. I got some feedback from you guys, and I don't blame you. Some of you don't want to sit through 5, 6, 7 minutes of me babbling on about the song or the solo or whatnot. Some of you do, but some of you don't. You want to just check out my take on the solo and be on your way, and that's cool. Be on your way if you like. For those who want to stick around and hear me talk about the solo or the topic of the day or the song in particular, stick around. And I also know I mentioned last week that Zakk Wylde and Ozzy Osbourne were up next, and I checked the list and I was wrong. It's actually this one. It's Soundgarden, Black Hole Sun. Zakk Wylde is actually at 61. Coming up next is Money by Pink Floyd and David Gilmour, which I'm really looking forward to playing. I do not know it yet, and I've been a Pink Floyd fan since I was a child. I think I bought Dark Side of the Moon when I was 12 on 8-track. I think it was the first rock and roll album I ever bought. And so I'm really looking forward to playing that one. But for now, we've got Soundgarden and Black Hole Sun. And so let's get to it. Chris Cornell wrote Black Hole Sun, and when he first brought it to the band, he didn't quite get the reaction that he was hoping for, or so I've read. The band found that it didn't sound very Soundgarden-ish. It was mellower than anything they had done before. It was more melodic than anything they had done before. It was, they found it was a bit more of a singer-songwriter type of song, of which Chris Cornell was a singer-songwriter. But, you know, they knew it was a great song, and they knew that it was probably going to be their first hit. The question was, did they want a hit? You know, did they want to be defined by one song? You know, bands of their type, hard rock, metal, grunge, generally didn't have many hits. They would have a big hit like Nirvana with Smells Like Teen Spirit, or, you know, Pearl Jam with Jeremy, and Faith No More with Epic, and, you know, they didn't want to be defined by Black Hole Sun. And let me just backtrack a little bit and talk about Faith No More with Epic. Faith No More is so much more than Epic. And, you know, I would say 95% of their music is better than Epic. Yet they, to this day, are kind of defined by that song. And, you know, you go online or you watch videos on YouTube and of one-hit wonders, and you find Faith No More on these lists as a one-hit wonder. And that's just sad. You know, they are so much more than that song. You know, Angel Dust, their third album, in my opinion, is an absolute masterpiece of hard rock metal music. One of the greatest hard rock metal albums ever made, start to finish. And yet you see them on one-hit wonder lists. And Pearl Jam, Soundgarden didn't want that to happen to them. They didn't want to be defined as the Black Hole Sun band and have all these new fans come in and then leave the moment the song's off the radio, or come to their concerts just waiting to hear Black Hole Sun. So they were worried about that happening. Of course, they did record it, and of course, they did have a big hit with it. But concessions were made and compromises were made, and one of those compromises was from guitarist Kim Thayil. He dropped what is arguably one of the more chaotic, manic, noisy guitar solos ever recorded by him or anybody else, smack dab in the middle of their would-be top 40 melodic hit. It was brilliant, and it just sticks out like a sore thumb in the best possible way. It's an absolute monster of a guitar solo. I learned the solo by ear, and so it's not note for note. It's you don't do chaos note for note. You try to get the general feel of the solo, and some of it's note for note, but not entirely. I used my new Crybaby wah, like I said, and lots of delay, and I used Guitar Rig 5 for this one, and I tried to emulate the studio setup that Kim Thayil used on this one. And I think I got pretty close. I think it sounds good. I had a great backing track. It was an official backing track, I think, with the guitars removed. So I put in both guitar parts, the rhythm guitar parts, which is playing underneath the solo. I put that in as well because that was absent from the backing track. I think it sounds good. I'm happy with this one. Strange tuning. When I first started learning this one, I was playing it in the wrong position. And I kept thinking, this can't be right. I was like, what the hell? And I couldn't figure it out for 2 days. I was playing it, and it sounded fine, but everything just felt wrong. And then I discovered that the guitar is actually tuned up a half step and then put in drop D. I had it in standard tuning, not in drop D. So I was doing some crazy things trying to make it sound right. Not many bands, especially metal or hard rock bands, tune up. It's almost exclusively tuning down. But then again, not a lot of bands have a singer with the range that Chris Cornell had, and so they could afford to tune up. So the song was tuned up half step. Once I got the guitar tuned up half step, put in drop D, it all fell into place, and really enjoyed that solo. Really enjoyed playing it. I hope you liked it. Like I said, next week we have David Gilmour and Money. Really looking forward to learning that one. And that's it for today. So you guys have a great week, and we will see you next time. Ciao.